Hey everyone, hope you're all well. Today I decided to watch the Halo Infinite campaign demo at 0.25x speed, just to see if there was anything we missed or anything interesting left to discover that you couldn't see at the regular speed. Now I actually was able to find a few things from watching at this slow speed, and if there's something I found that you did too before seeing this video, then I really commend you, because the guy playing in the demo actually moves through quite quickly, besides that one point at the start where he slowly shows off the world. I'll only be going into what I found with the demo, so that doesn't include the Halo Infinite cinematic trailer, just for those wondering. But I don't want to waste your time, so without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I noticed I think is actually quite noticeable, although I'll mention it anyway, since not everyone would have picked it up. When Chief and Brohammer are getting shot by the banished anti-air turrets, you can see a warning pop up on the screen inside the cockpit that looks awfully similar to the screen from the Banished reveal trailer released in June. Not sure if this means anything, although just judging from the context of the demo, I think it's actually the same screen. Then once Brohammer says he'll need to make an emergency landing, you can see in the following frames that there is a UNSC frigate that has been destroyed and completely torn apart. I thought this was quite interesting because I hadn't seen many people talking about it, especially seeing as once the gameplay begins, you can clearly see a part of the frigate in the open world, which I'm assuming will be explorable. I'll touch on that a little bit later on. I also noticed straight away after those frames that there is a crashed Pelican right above the dash. It could end up being a Condor, since Brohammer mentioned seeing one later on, but during gameplay, we'll know more. The final thing I noticed from the in-game cutscene is that if you look closely, you can see that the Master Chief has the new pistol on his right leg, which is called the Sidekick. I've heard some people share their concerns that this pistol would be replacing the regular Magnum, but this isn't the case. The Sidekick functions in a similar way to the Gunfighter Magnum from Halo 5, so still expect to see the regular Magnum in the game. Now, that's what I noticed from that cutscene. Moving on to the gameplay, just before Chief walks out of the Pelican, you can see the text gun battery appear just before the heads up display does. It appears on the screen for less than a second and is hard to catch. I think this means that the mission is titled Gun Battery. Since the game is open world, I think missions will be operating completely differently, so that's why a mission name could just be an overall objective. We'll know more down the track, of course. Once Chief kills the grunts outside the Pelican, you can see that he is close to the opening of the destroyed frigate, and if you look really closely, you can see an entrance that is possible to get to by clamber or using the grapple hook. For demo purposes, they wanted to show the gameplay, which was fair enough, so they didn't go inside, but I'm very confident we'll be able to explore what's left of the frigate, maybe for some achievement or skull. It'll be interesting to see. Of course, you can also see the crashed Pelican way easier here. Now here's something really cool that I found. Just as the map is opening on the screen, I noticed a few extra tabs appearing on the bottom. Two tabs I've not heard anyone talking about. These are Start Mission and Fast Travel. This is pretty huge, as Fast Travel was something we suspected from looking at the opening screen, but just we didn't really know if there actually would be fast travel, although this pretty much confirms it. It will be exciting to see how we are able to fast travel, maybe going through a teleporter or getting a Pelican pickup. Then we also have the Start Mission button. I'm just going to take a guess that we can only do this once you've cleared the objectives or side missions in the area, as once the player in the demo fully opened the map, the tab disappeared. Same with the fast travel. So I'd say the same for fast travel, where you need to complete a mission or set objective before being able to leave the area. I also noticed lots of icons appearing on the map that were only shown for a brief second. Here you can see blue, red, and yellow icons, where it seems to me that yellow indicates campaign missions and objectives that you need to complete before moving further in the story. Blue might indicate fast travel and maybe restock points. I still think we need to clear a mission or objective before doing this, but this is where we'll be able to upgrade our weapons or grab a vehicle. And finally, red shows combat objectives. If you look closely, you can see that each marker has a specific name, like the yellow icon being Gun Battery, one of the blue markers being a UNSC base, like Echo Base on the map, and then there's lots of combat objectives. It's clear to see that the names of each marker might have something to do with how you're meant to tackle the mission. This mainly goes for the red combat missions. For example, one of them is called Okro Vagadun. Yeah, I know I most likely butchered that, but I think this will be a high profile elite within the Banished. This could end up being an assassination mission, which if that's the case, holy shit, consider me even more excited. I won't go into that anymore or talk about the top 3 tabs, as many people have already spoken about them and broken them down, as they are very noticeable. But if you want to see all the names of these missions in this area, then just pause, as there really are some interesting ones. Let me know if any in particular excites you too. Shortly after that, as the Warthog hits the suicide grunt, you can see that the left tyre blows out due to the plasma grenades going off. It's hard to see exactly, but if you look closely you can see the black of the tyre going into the air as the Warthog continues to drive off. Few things here. I think it's awesome to see that the Warthog will still drive even if it loses a tyre. The physics on the Warthog look really great, and that explosion and impact with the suicide grunt was just visually beautiful. Another cool thing is that there are banished weapon stations seen several times in the demo, one near this elite and another one on the upper level. Now, something really cool regarding the banished drop pods is that they catch on fire after landing on the surface, and after several seconds violently explode, which visually looks great again, and it was a smart choice by 343 to make them despawn this way, compared to Halo 5's terrible shrinking despawn design, so I'm really happy with this. The Brute AI reacts really well to the gunfire here. As you can see, the player shoots his leg, causing him to stumble, and then another awesome thing is that you can shoot their armor off, which is something we haven't been able to do in such a unique way, shooting off piece by piece. Then of course you can see Craig with a milkshake, moments before his demise. Everything else here is pretty straightforward, but just before the Brute launches the grunt into the air, you can see that he is nowhere near the grunt to be able to actually throw him. Not sure if this is a visual glitch, but was just something I noticed watching at 0.25x speed. Just after the player picks up the new shotgun, you can hear one of the Brutes saying to Chief, "You should have protected it." I listened to this quite a lot, and the Brute most definitely is saying that to the Chief. I have no idea why, so if anyone has a theory on that, I'd love to hear it. That's basically everything I found from watching the demo at that slow speed. Hopefully some of the things I found you guys hadn't seen before. The ending cutscene here with Eskarim is hard to make out, as of course the majority is a close-up of his face. Although one of the scenes with Chief shows a hologram of the UNSC Infinity Forces being deceased. What's fascinating here is that you can see the ODST, ONI, and UNSC insignia alongside some other ranks that resemble Halo Reach ranks and models. Some of these ranks on the screen include General, Colonel, Commander, and even Sergeant. The fact that 343 have used the Halo Reach models for these ranks honestly tells me that we will see them in Halo Infinite's multiplayer. Again, that is just a wild guess, but then why bother showing the Halo Reach rank models if they aren't going to appear in Infinite's multiplayer? So I think this is pretty darn huge and awesome to think about, because I loved Halo Reach's ranks. Obviously I'd expect some slight differences here and there, but I really think Halo Infinite will be implementing a very similar system to Halo Reach in this regard. So that was everything I found watching the Halo Infinite campaign demo in 0.25x speed. Again, let me know if you discovered some of these things on your own, or if you're more hyped now after seeing something you hadn't before. There's a lot of negativity going around the Halo community at the moment, so I'm going to try my best to get more videos out showcasing more awesome things about this game, and why you truly should be excited for its release. I really believe this game will be amazing at launch, and I stand by what I said in my previous video. If you didn't like the look of the game or the graphics, don't ruin it for those who did, as there's already enough conflict in the Halo community. Alrighty guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope this video has showed you some cool things you might not have noticed watching the demo at regular speed. I'm very excited for this game, and I know many of the issues relevant right now will be fixed before launch. Just need to stay hopeful and ignore those bashing on the game. If you guys want to join my Discord, the link will be in the description, my Twitter also. Anyway fam, thanks so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to support me that little bit extra. Thanks guys, have a good one.